State of Decay 2 has gotten its first DLC, excluding the Independence Day pack. This DLC is called Daybreak, and it involves you playing separately from your main community, so you're not at risk of losing any of your characters or any of your gear. You're playing as a group of Red Talon soldiers, either you and 2 AI companions, or you and 3 human friends, depending on whether you want to play online or offline. Now what you do in this mode is it's a horde, basically a tower defense almost, except you don't get more than one section of defense. You are held up in this little mini mall, defending a Clio satellite uplink and a technician. The technician is trying to make a communication to Clio, who those who have played the first game will recognize as an AI that drops high-tech supplies to you. Now you basically hold off 7 waves of zombies. The 7 waves, as they go on, get increasingly difficult. Around wave 4, you start encountering the new zombie in this DLC, the Blood Plague Juggernaut, which makes things extremely intense.
I got eyes on one of them plague juggernauts. That's bad news.
I have a container of help.
I have Mr. Bombastic on steroids! Especially around the end, when you can get attacked by multiple juggernauts at the same time. Now included in this DLC is several new weapons that you can use on your characters and unlock for your base game, but you have to at first complete several Daybreak missions or get to a certain point where you actually unlock the item in the Daybreak in order to unlock it on the main game. This includes several new melee weapons, placed mines, ranged weapons, throwing grenades, all of which are more than fun to use. Now spread throughout a couple of the waves are Clio drops, small pods that come down from the sky and give you ammunition, wall repair kits, explosives, and around the end, new weapons. You can pick up several different Clio weapons such as the Clio pistol and the Clio SMG, which I've not got my hands on, but Paul says it's 120 rounds of Fury. Now these new Clio weapons use a new ammunition type called the Clio Ammo Pack. It doesn't matter what Clio weapon you have, the Clio shotgun, Clio sniper rifle, Clio pistol. They all use the same ammunition, so I can see where that can be a little bit of an issue. Now when you start the game, you're greeted with a cutscene.
Good luck down there. I'd be with you, but that wouldn't be fair to the vids. Don't embarrass me, and maybe I'll swing by to get you when you're finished.
And when you end the game, you're greeted with a cutscene.
I was worried a couple of times, but we got it done.
I think it's cool how it just fucking burrows into the ground. Which adds a bit of story, but I have to admit, while I have enjoyed this DLC, it is repetitive. It's the same, it's one map, the mini mall, where you hold off the waves of zombies and repair your walls. In the base game, it adds several new facilities for you to build at your own base. These include the Red Talon bunk room, which has 5 beds but has a morale penalty. It requires 2 materials and a prefab Red Talon bunk room, which you unlock by completing Daybreak missions. It requires an indoor small slot. The description reads, a high-efficiency bunk layout designed by Red Talon, allowing up to 5 people to sleep in a small amount of space. However, the tight quarters can lead to unhappy survivors. Next, we have the Red Talon Workshop. The Red Talon Workshop is essentially a workshop level 3 with free passive repairs. It repairs your weapons and your melee weapons without you having to go into your stash and repairing them yourselves. It requires a Red Talon Workshop, 2 materials, and takes 6 minutes to build. It requires a small slot, whether indoors or outdoors. The description reads, a high-end workshop able to passively repair melee and ranged weapons, provide its own power, and do everything a Workshop 3 can do. So should you not have the Builder Legacy reward where it gives you power and water, it'll power itself. Next we have the Red Talon Watchtower. It provides -3 to threat, but requires 3 armed guards. It requires an outdoor small slot. In order to build it, you need to have a prefab Red Talon Watchtower, 2 materials. It takes 6 minutes to build. The description reads, a highly optimized watchtower, allowing up to 3 guards to operate simultaneously, drastically reducing the threat of zombie attacks on your base. Next up we have the Officers' Quarters, which provides 2 beds, a morale boost, and efficiency gain. Requires an indoor small slot, needs a prefab for the officers' quarters, 2 materials, and 6 minutes to build. The description reads, luxurious and full-feature sleeping quarters fit for Red Talon officers, complete with self-contained lavatory, workstation, and recreation area. And finally, we have the Clio Relay. Requires a large outdoor slot, a Clio core, 2 materials, and 6 minutes to build. The description reads, this kit bash satellite relay lets you request a delivery of high-tech gear from the Clio system of drones. This signal also draws a lot of zombies to your base. So it's similar to the way it worked in State of Decay 1, where these Clio drops will draw the attention of a lot of zombies. So while it's bringing in the supplies, you will have to fend off the zombies. Now in the base game, you can also call for the Red Talon Trader. They appear at a nearby location and will sell you whatever you have unlocked from the Daybreak DLC in the base game. Now in order to purchase these items, you have to use something called Prestige, which is the new currency that you get from doing Daybreak. Now as you can see here, I've unlocked several melee weapons. You get the 3 Red Talon weapons you start with, which are the M14, the Scar H, and the shotgun. But you can unlock the Clio weapons and the thrown explosives. You can also use Prestige to recruit a Red Talon operator to your settlement. Now, these characters are fairly high leveled. They're typically already almost maxed out with what they're doing, but they're extremely powerful in the way of survivability and stamina. So should you start a new community, you can right out the gate recruit a Red Talon and have a high level character right then and there. Now my general impressions on this DLC are, I enjoy it. It's something that I can do every now and again. Incredibly difficult to do solo. So if you're a solo offline player, you're not going to have that great of a time. I did it myself and I was only able to get up to maybe wave 3 or 4. But I'm sure there are those that are better out there than me that can do it themselves. But I found that it was a whole lot easier when you have a group of people. Now I managed to do it with just Paul and I, but if we have multiple people, like if we have a full team in communication with each other, I don't see it being that big of a challenge. Unless it's just constant juggernauts. What I noticed is it spawned, with just Paul and I, it spawned in 2 juggernauts to fight the both of us. So there may be more enemies to fight depending on how many teammates you have. The AI teammates are borderline useless unless they have a shotgun, which they just knock the zombies down and blow chunks from them. And occasionally they'll explode a bloater. But that was my general thoughts on the Daybreak DLC for State of Decay 2. If you like this DLC, say so down below. If you agree with what I say, whereas it can get a little repetitive, leave a like. If not, tell me down below. I would like to hear what you guys have to say about the new DLC. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hold on.
Traffic cone man! I have a deployable minefield. I just gotta get my ass out the side.
I have 14 minutes until I die from bubbling.
And we only have a minute left, so we're good. I heard a...
Pearl.
Watch out for the mines. Do you see this bloater, or this big fucker that's just running here? He's like on a 90-degree angle and just running.
God, that thing is huge.
Ah, big Malala. Big Malala.
And now I'm empty.
I'm out. Come on, grab it, dude. Thank you. Look at this! Here, Torso Man!
Oh, that's where that guy was.
Okay, the relay is fully charged.
We live.
She's about to turtle up and kill our connection.
We live!
It's time to go. Now!
We're all done and could use an evac.
Victory, and it's actually recorded this
I'll
time.
read you loud and clear.
Yeah, it's recorded. Okay. Ooh-ah.
I was worried a couple of times, but we got it done.
I think it's cool how it just fucking burrows into the ground.